Thank you. So KCB turns 127 years this year.
Yes.
Interesting enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's been, I believe, so many changes over time, because even within the last 10 years, I feel like mobile banking has taken over. And there's the whole need to just make sure that you serve your customers. Yeah. So even speak to us about the current campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, so we turned 127 years this year. And you know, I was just reflecting on our history and where we began. And, you know, KCB back then, before we were called KCB,
Yes.
National Bank of India, that landed in Mombasa in, I believe, was 1896.
Yes.
Transformed in the 1950s to Gridley's Bank, and later on to Kenya Commercial Bank in the early 70s. And it's been really around people, because then the purpose then was taking the bank closer to people. So we've always been about people, and looking at what we can do to ensure that we provide services for people in the best way possible. And this campaign for us is really a demonstration to customers, reinforcing our purpose, which is for people, for better, and just showing our commitment to our customers, very importantly, and demonstrating, you know, our commitment in terms of delivering and supporting our customers. To our employees, we have KCB as a group. Across 7 countries has 11,000 employees. So again, commitment to our employees, ensuring that also they deliver the best to the customers, but also looking at how we support and provide and enable the communities around us. So it's really largely around those things and showing our commitment in those particular areas. And that's what this campaign is about, demonstrating KCB as a brand that is genuinely opening opportunities for people, opening doors. And once we do this, then we enable the communities, and we enable our customers, and we enable the employees within KCB to progress, making every day, you know, just a little bit better.
Great. And even as we speak of the theme for people for better during this specific campaign, there has been a lot of transformation even in the banking sector. So how do you ensure that there's financial inclusion and there's a reach to even the most undeserved people in the most remote areas in Kenya?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I think for us, and the thing that connects us and, you know, just keeps us alive is the opportunity to enable that progress. And it's not enabling progress to a particular group. It's ensuring that everybody has an equal opportunity to progress and do whatever it is that they're doing. So, you know, I'll touch on a few things that we've done as KCB to drive financial inclusion. Last year, we did launch our female proposition, our women's proposition, FLAME, which is focusing then on driving women entrepreneurs or women-led businesses to thrive. And, you know, over and above the financial support, KCB did pledge 250 billion to be given as working capital to women over a period of 5 years. We've actually, over the first 1 year, given out 30% already of that amount. Just showing the commitment, and, you know, the women entrepreneurs are actually ready to receive that. What we've done also to support the women entrepreneurs is also providing skills and an opportunity to learn on how they can drive their businesses a bit forward. So training through our Biashara Club has also been provided. Over and above that, we do have our foundation, which has also worked well just in terms of ensuring that the youth and also women are supported very well. We have been able to create over 130,000 jobs through our Tujiajiri program, which is really around enterprise development and ensuring that within a number of sectors, including manufacturing, domestic, hairdressing, and so forth, construction, agriculture, sustainable agriculture, ensuring that they get the skills that they need to be able to run their own businesses.
Yes.
So we've been able to create 132,000 jobs directly, and you can imagine now the ripple effect indirectly and how that impacts different families and so forth.
Yeah.
So within these programs, what we've been able to do is, over and above the actual learning in class, we have been able to support them as they start their businesses. And we have a framework, a business development framework, where we attach them to a person who will support them on marketing, accounts to support on bookkeeping and ensuring they're fine, and someone who also understands elements from the legal perspective to ensure that their businesses are registered. So just getting them started off in the right way from the beginning.
Yes.
Over and above that, what we've done is that we've also then provided over 4,000 scholarships to students getting into high school.
Yes.
We're actually going through a recruitment process at the moment. So we have issued over 4,000 scholarships.
Yes.
And we are actually the only organization that's actually focusing on people with disabilities, looking at teenage mothers,
Yes.
just to ensure that they also get a platform. Their situation should not be a limitation on how they progress. So we've been able to do that over time, and we are seeing a number of these students actually leaving high school and getting into university,
Yes.
where the scholarships do continue. Over and above that, KCB is a supporter of sports.
Yes.
We've invested quite a bit in sports over the years. And what sports does, and I think, this whole bit of sports and the creative economy is that,
Yes.
We've been able to provide employment for almost 200 people through the KCB sports sponsorships.
Okay.
We have 4 teams, and all these players and the technical bench people actually, receive salaries under formal employment under the clubs that KCB is supporting. We do have the rugby team, the KCB rugby team. We have the volleyball team, a chess team, and a football team, and they're actually top teams in Kenya. Over and above that, we've also supported golf and rally, and through those sponsorships indirectly contributed to supporting a number of the communities and the ecosystems around these platforms.
Beautiful initiatives there.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. And I believe there's an activation going on today.
Yes.
Yeah, perhaps you could speak to us about that.
Yes, so the activation is really taking the message to the ground, and the activation, which we've been glad that you've been able to support us, is really just demonstrating to customers that we are truly for people for better.
Yes.
And with the roadshows happening today, it's just showing that our doors are open.
Yes.
And actually going to where the customers are, understanding what they want. KCB is the focus on the customer is a very important thing.
Yes.
And for us to demonstrate we are customer obsessed means that we have to understand and keep on learning what the customers want. So the activation is just, one of the ways we are going on ground to understand what customers want, and just talk to them about our products, our offerings. We do have quite a bit around the micro banking, the SME
Yes.
lending that we are able to provide, and solutions that they can use to transact and get and bank better every day.
Perfect. And even in lieu of empowering communities, of course, you cannot ignore the digital transformation within different sectors. Yeah? So how are you using even these digital channels to ensure that your customers are financial literate?
So the digital channels for us are very key, just in terms of one, driving inclusivity and driving accessibility into services. Everyone is busy. You won't be, probably working to a bank. You'll want to do your things on the go. So these platforms actually provide that. We have a very robust mobile banking platform. Our internet banking platform is quite good. Actually, 99% of KCB transactions are done on mobile channels. Our digital platforms have also enabled us to innovate quite a bit, through partnerships with KCB, with Safaricom through KCB M-Pesa.
Yes.
And we do have a solid platform, Vuma, where you're able to transact, some mobile wallet where you're able to transact. You're also able to borrow quite a bit. So these platforms have largely enabled us reach more customers, provide services to customers where they are, and just in terms of making life a bit better. So you can then access lending. I think one of the things we've seen, especially for smaller businesses, is that they've been able to access money. You know, if you're going to Gikomba to buy stock, you can actually borrow a loan, go buy your stock, go and sell, and repay the loan at the end of the day. And we've seen quite a number of businesses growing because of that type of activity. So it's the digital transformation and driving innovation, you know, will drive inclusivity, will drive accessibility, but will also drive economies just in terms of catalyzing activity for various people.
Yeah, and I understand there's also a product for green lending. Even as we speak right now, the issues and conversations on matters climate change, it is a big conversation not only in Kenya but globally. Because currently there's a COP28 going on.
Yes.
So how is KCB using now the green lending initiative also to promote mitigating climate change? Yeah.
So for us, under our sustainability banner, you know, we are largely focusing on three things: ESG, environmental, social, and governance. And green lending then falls under the climate, and doing activities so that then our world is sustainable in the next 30, 40 years. So what we've done is that we've integrated that into the business, where then lending is then provided to organizations that are looking at how to be more sustainable and more green. We've currently, you know, we're looking at in the next 3 to 5 years to have our entire lending book to be at 25% green loans. We're at 12%. And really what we're looking at, and just to break it down, is, for instance, a factory. This factory has been using equipment, say, for the last 10 years. This equipment is using quite a bit of fuel and emitting quite a bit of exhaust gases and so forth. Can we then help them invest in equipment that is a lot more efficient, that will use less energy, that is probably solar driven, and we've seen quite a number of organizations ensuring that they're solar driven, and that one that is is emitting less emissions. So we are looking at that, and that is how it is being incorporated over and above just buying and putting in solar panels and so forth. But are there things that you can change from a structural perspective, from a manufacturing perspective, to be able to deliver or release less emissions into the environment? So for us, ensuring that our carbon footprint reduces, and just educating customers around that is quite important, and something that we'll continue doing.
Okay, great. And looking at the market where you are at more than 7 countries in Africa. Yeah, so, and there's just a lot of banks, even worldwide and within Africa and even in the country. How then do you ensure that you are reliable to your customers, and so that you just gain that confidence in them and be able to retain them?
Very good question. It's how do we ensure that is constantly listening to them. Customer obsession for us is that is just making sure that, one, we are listening to what the customers are saying, we are available, and we are fixing every time to ensure that we are also changing and adjusting to what the customers' needs are. I think the industries have become very service-driven. So customer service, support, and so forth have become very, very critical in the success of the business. But all that is done, and that's why we are so keen about our purpose, because it's truly, truly anchored on people. What is important for us and what we've seen, and if you even look, you've given the example of companies across the world. When you look at companies across the world, those that have focused on their purpose and why they exist genuinely deliver to to customers, meaning then they have a keen interest. So investments in things like digital innovation and so forth, investment in what we are doing around enabling the communities, support for the communities, supporting the youth. It's really about listening to what they want and knowing what people want, and then responding and making sure that we support that.
Awesome, great. And I think it's time now to take a short breather. Of course, we'll be back with more. Morning Cafe, and you're having a conversation with Nkatha Mutungi, is the KCB Integrated Marketing and Communications Lead. And Nkatha, even before we went for the break, we were just speaking on matters digital transformation and financial inclusion, and making sure that we reach out even to the most remote areas in this country. But I believe even with all these, there are barriers to this. So what are some of the barriers to ensuring this financial inclusion among your customers, and how then are you dealing with it?
Thank you. Good question. I think for us, I think from an infrastructure point of view, I think Kenya is one of the markets where you will find internet penetration to be quite wide. You know, the number of people who have smartphones is quite big. I think what is key for a number of organizations, and even for us, is to ensure that a lot of the products that are provided on digital are simple and easy to use, and we are constantly ensuring that, they're not complex. You don't have a complex user journey to access. And anyone, regardless of whether you're in Nairobi or in Meru, inside my mom's village, well, anybody.
I come from Meru and I felt that was a direct.
No, I'm a Meru.
Oh, nice.
So I know where our Shag's Githongo is. Anyone there can also, use the platforms. Yes. I think for us is, once you understand your customers, then you're able to just continue building and innovating as you go, and just ensuring whatever you're providing for them is easily accessible and easily consumable. So it's very important for us to ensure that even as we are ensuring and pushing more customers and more people to have the tools, that usage of these tools are actually quite high. And we keep on monitoring that. As I said, us grounding ourselves on what people want and making things better for people ensures that we are constantly listening. So we track what it is that we are doing. We get feedback from customers on a regular basis and keep on improving based on that, just to ensure that whatever barriers are there, we're actually proactive enough to address them as they come in.
What are some of the challenges that are now concerning the digital transformation sector?
What are the challenges?
The challenges that are within now the digital, even as you try to move to these online payments, mobile banking, what are some of the challenges, the major challenges that you've been facing along that journey?
I guess I think one of the things is just ensuring that there's appropriate uptake of the products. Over and above things like pricing, a lot of them are not really based on us. And based on what, say, the regulator or government would put in, but that affects everybody in the market. But for us, it's just ensuring that accessibility and support is there for all our products. So ensuring that we provide that support continuously is really important, because then if you have a solution and there's no support for customers, then that becomes quite a big barrier.
Yeah, and even as we move to mobile banking and these online payments, there's a lot of issues going on with the compliance and matters regulation within that sector. So how do you as KCB ensure that you're ahead of the game to ensure, even as you innovate and change, you're also aligned to the regulatory environment within the country?
I think on our end, having invested in a number of these platforms, being very clear on what our strategic plan is, and working together with the regulators and government to ensure that we are developing and doing things in the right manner. For us, that is important. So we've done quite a number of things, just ensuring, and in this environment, of course, the regulator is very keen. So just working hand in hand with the regulator and ensuring that the governance from that point is actually okay. But, again, back listening to customers and ensuring that we are actually addressing issues that have come up. Remember, a number of these issues are not just unique to KCB, but are global issues, just in terms of what people are expecting and how the support is expected to come in. One of the key things is ensuring that the products are affordable on our end, that loans, the pricing around loans, and the fact and encouraging people to actually repay back the loans. I think one of the questions you asked was, one of the barriers is actually getting and ensuring that we encourage people to keep on paying their loans on time, because then the implications around that as an individual, of course, would be quite dire. So the education bit and making sure that customers understand what those implications are and encouraging them what are the benefits of actually paying on time. And we've actually seen things, we've actually seen customers who credit limits are actually increased because they make sure that their loans are paid on time. So those are the number of things that we are working with together with regulators and ensuring that we are understanding and responding to what is happening in the market.
Okay, great. And even as we wrap up, probably just mention to us some of the success initiatives that KCB has run so far.
Successful for us from a business perspective, I think, what I mentioned earlier around the female-led and female-made and led enterprises, FLAME, what we're calling FLAME. Yeah. That has been quite a success, and just seeing the opportunity to support women entrepreneurs. Yes. As mentioned, we've actually issued 30% of that particular book. We've made great wins around what we've done on sustainability and the green lending. We've also been quite aggressive when it comes to planting trees. And we've done this using our branch network across board. Again, what we've done through the foundation, and just impacting 132,000 people, creating employment for them and changing their livelihoods has been key. And the students who, the 4,000 students who we've actually put through school. I think that, those have been great wins. KCB is one of those few brands that is operating from the Indian Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean, so from East Coast to West Coast. Yes. Being in 7 markets, impacting over 32 million customers, enabling trade across this part of the world, and just being a catalyst in everything that we do. I think that has been a success for us. We are anchored on people. I think what is important for us is just ensuring that we build the right relationships for people, and our customers can continuously trust us. Those for us are our big wins.
Okay, great. And looking forward, in terms of KCB's goals and visions, how do you envision now KCB Matters, mobile banking, financial inclusion, reaching out to even the remote communities and empowering your customers, as well as just matters concerning innovation and all that?
They're all connected. When you talk about our purpose, it's really about how do we make this a reality every day. And how do we make sure that KCB, we are celebrating 127 years now. We need to ensure that we celebrate 200 plus years or another 127 years. Yes. What is important for us is to ensure that we are a sustainable business and we are building a sustainable business. And that cuts across everything that we are doing. So be it innovation in technology, because then that is what the future is. How shall we be able to support businesses even then? And looking at how we'll use technology to scale and provide more products for customers across board. Ensuring that even the marginalized communities are supported, and we have a lot of programs. We actually have a program I didn't mention, Mifugo ni Mali, that supports sustainable agriculture and looks at pastoralist communities and so forth, and how do we ensure that they actually make a better living out of what they're doing. So it's just ensuring that, we scale what it is that we're doing, but anchoring it on our purpose for people for better, to ensure that we are building businesses and we are building an economy that will sustain generations to come.
Okay, great. And in terms of supporting the small and medium enterprises, what is it that KCB is doing in order to tap into that specific group there?
Okay, the KCB offering for businesses and small businesses is quite robust. So, when we talk about what our foundation does to scaling and upscaling small businesses. So the guy who has a garage can actually get to own a garage, through the training that we offer. Yeah. To providing micro banking solutions. So this person who is now going to set up his own garage can then become a micro business and hire, around 10 people. Eventually can become a big garage and businesses like, Out of Express that we've seen. So we have solutions that support businesses from inception when they're new to the point where they're already scaling high. So for us, it's important to be able to support that. Over and above financial tools, we also offer non-financial support.
Yes.
Through our Biashara Club. We've been able to provide networks for different types of people to be able to build their network, to get more contacts and grow their businesses. We've been also in a position to teach them and get in experts who are able to teach them and educate them on different aspects of their businesses and how they need to progress and what they can do to thrive, providing them with toolkits to help them just support different things, be it bookkeeping at an entry level, to how to gain better capital, how to manage your employees and so forth. So just looking at all business needs and being able to provide both financial and financial support.
Great. Thank you so much, Nkadha Mutungi, for creating time to speak to us. Quite an enlightening discussion. I don't know if we should end with YKCB.
YKCB?
Yeah.
We have a true commitment to people. We demonstrate that every day in everything that we do. So we'll continuously innovate, we'll continuously support, and we are here to build real relationships with customers. We are truly here for people for better. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for creating time. Nkadha Mutungi is the head of integrated marketing and communication at the Kenya Commercial Bank, that is KCB. But now let's have a look at the impact of hands-on education through indoor gaming activities on academic and social development in Kericho's Fig Tree Academy. And this feature story was done by our very own Collins Bet.
As pupils countrywide retreat for the long Christmas holidays, an academy in Kericho has decided to engage its learners creatively through indoor gaming activities from morning to lunchtime every weekday to keep them busy constructively while having fun. During the school holidays, instead of teaching the normal school curriculum as tuition, teachers at Fig Tree Academy in Kericho train their students on how to think critically through playing fun indoor games such as chess, Scrabble, abacus, and Rubik's Cube. The program, which is voluntary, has recorded a positive impact in pupils' academic and social life, with the school recording a tremendous improvement in mathematics subject from a mean score of 73% in 2021 to 76.5% last year. Since the introduction of an indoor games, how has the school improved in terms of performance?
Now, indoor games have really assisted our learners. It is highly demonstrated by the performance. There are many learners who have changed drastically. They have improved in their marks, especially in mathematics. So we are very happy with it. Our teachers are very competent in teaching of those indoor games. Thank you.
So there are some of the schools which haven't introduced the indoor games. What's your appeal to them?
Now, I would like to appeal to them because this is an activity that fits so much with CBC. It helps the learners to be creative because they see the physical appearance of a Rubik's Cube and they manipulate it. And in the process, they are able to improve their creativity.
Caleb Owithi, the teacher who handles the hands-on education in school, attributed the improvement to a positive mindset by the students towards mathematics after the school management introduced hands-on education that uses various gaming activities to solve mathematical problems, and they find mathematics fun and not stressful.
In our school, Fig Tree Academy, we take abacus as a main subject. It's a subject on its own, and maths is also a subject on its own. At times, there are some skills that they learn in abacus that are not there in maths. For example, when we come to the abacus itself, we can formulate a list of numbers, and you find that our learners can do up to 20 numbers in a row. When they do it repeatedly, there is some skill they develop in their mind. And when it comes to mathematics, we find it easier. simple addition and subtraction. They do it a bit quicker than they used to do it before we initiated this program.
Owiti mentioned that gaming activities uplifted the pupils' concentration, observation, memory, analytical ability, visualization, imagination, attention span, and focus. Noting that abacus learning contributes significantly in improvement of arithmetic skills and number fluency, which has developed an interest and passion in maths for students as their confidence and understanding grows from an early age. Other indoor games such as chess and Scrabble also enhance students' social skills, cognitive skills such as maths, logic, strategic thinking, creativity, and retentive memory, and urge other schools to adopt the use of these games. Betty Muya, parent to grade 7 student at Victory Academy, confirmed that indeed the games have enhanced her child memory, creativity, and academics, and urge other parents to support their children by enrolling them to fun activities during the holiday season.
Mtoto wangu amekuwa akihusika kucheza mchezo ya Rubik's Cube, chess, amekuwa kama saizi venye wamefunga shule, amekuwa kwa shule akipractice hizo mchezo. Na kama mzazi nimeona hizi mchezo zimekuwa za faida kwa huyu mtoto. At first akianza huu mchezo sikuwa naona kama ina maana. Alikuwa ananiambia mom, ninunulie Rubik's Cube, nifanyie nilipie tours, sijui tunaenda wapi. Mimi kwangu sikuwa naichukulia kwa ya maana, lakini wakati walienda competition akaweza kuniletea awards na nikaona amecompete, ameshinda. So mimi nikawa kutaka kujua kabisa hii mchezo itampeleka wapi. Nikaona kabisa katika masomo inamsaidia, anaweza kama ni mathematics anafanya vizuri sana.
My name is Blessing Wanjiku. I started cubing from last year. The school have been so supportive.
My name is Isaac Mwangi and I am a cube solver. It helps a person to think more, to think faster.
My name is James Karuki. I am a grade 7 learner from Victory Academy. In this school we participate in activities like Rubik's Cube, chess and Scrabble, and how it has helped us in class is it helps us with grammar, critical thinking, creativity.
Meanwhile, the Last Mile Cubing Organization founder Samuel Kamau is the man behind the Hands-on Education Initiative and has managed to introduce the program to schools within the county and train teachers on how to go about teaching the indoor games to students. Kamau, who is also a certified World Cube Association event organizer, engaged students from Victory Academy in creating a spectacular portrait of President William Ruto using the Rubik's Cube. And as the country participated in tree growing exercise, Kamau also mobilized pupils to create a beautiful masterpiece of a tree using the Rubik's Cubes.
We would want to sell this portrait maybe to organizations that deals with the environment, like the UNEP, maybe the Wangari Maathai organization, maybe the CS of environment, or any other organization, because if it can be put on a display, there is a message it portrays. We need to take care upon this tree. Failure to it, then you find every living creature within the environment will be very vulnerable.
This is a Victory Academy where teachers engage these learners to solve a complex mathematics